Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant. Today we are at the next topic, the bishop Endgames, and we are going to cover the case of bad bishop today. A bad bishop is one which is hemmed or blocked by his own pawns, and usually the pawns are in the bishop's color and that too in the center of the board. So we can see the two important pawns d5 and f5 which have made the bishop on f7 really bad. In same colored bishop positions, usually we try to put the opponent in a zugzwang. We can see here the king placing is also very good for the white side. His king is active on the 4th rank as compared to the black king which is on the 3rd rank. If the black king has to move, then the white king will either penetrate from e5 to kc6, there will be ke5 followed by kf6 winning the position. And if king goes to e6, then kc5, kb6 and we will win both a6 and the b5 pawns. So all white has to do in this case is put black on the move, and we will see that the f7 bishop will struggle to guard both d5 and the h5 pawns. This is a classic case of bad bishop. The pawns are all fixed on its own color. So the black bishop is struggling more over here. This particular position is very important to understand what goes wrong with the defending bishop. Why the defending bishop is unable to cope up with the attacking bishop's capabilities. Usually we will see that there will be different set of squares which the bishop has to cover. Like for instance for f3 the bishop has to be on f7. Similarly for b3 also bishop has to be on the f7 square, and for f1 also the bishop has to be on the f7 square. So white can push black into zigzag in various ways. The white bishop's ability is far superior. It has more places to attack the black pawns. For example, if the white bishop wants to west move, he has two places, e2 and d1, to protect the h5. Similarly, to attack f5, it has got d3, c2 and b1 squares. And similarly, if he wants to attack d5, from the other diagonal also he has b3 and the a2 squares. Same way, this bishop can go to g2, f3 or h1. All the three will allow to attack the d5 pawn. Similarly, black's defensive resources are less. We see the black bishop has less number of squares as compared to the white bishop. Let's get down to the position and see how white forces black in a zugzwang. White started with the move bishop e2. Now the black bishop has to make a choice. It can only choose between be8 and bg6 because he has to keep the h5 pawn protected. Let's see bishop g6 first. Main variation is be8. Now comes bishop d3. Very simple idea. We will first force the bishop to go back to h7. Bishop f7 will just allow bishop f5, and the king move will allow our king to enter from the opposite side. And once the bishop goes to h7, white plays bishop f1. And we see a case where the black bishop is now going to struggle badly. After bishop g6, we will attack d5. And after bishop g8, we will attack h5 and force the black bishop on the f7 square. Let's see how. After bg6, bg2, forcing bishop f7, then bishop f3. Right? And now what happens? Bishop has to either abandon h pawn or the d pawn. Of course, he will try to hold the h pawn. Once b8, then the bishop enters on d5, and we see that white will easily either gain access to b7 or the f7 square and win the game very easily. And similarly, after bg8, white uses bishop e2. Now h5 is attacked and black has only moved bishop f7, and then again he goes bf3. So this is a simple way to put black into the zugzwang. I would like to mention that when we study these kind of positions, those who are seeing it for the first time, they can find it confusing. So we should play the moves over and over again and try to understand the basic ideas. And then after a couple of weeks, we should try to solve this position on our own. That will help us realize that how better we have grasped the position or whether we need more practice. So let's look at the main possibility now. After BD2, BE8, white goes BD3. Now again there are two choices, one BD7 and other BG6 to protect the F5 pawn. After BG6, white first waits, he plays bishop C2 and this forces black to go to H7. And now what black will do? Black will keep the only choice for this bishop to support H5 from the F7 square. So what he will do? See, to BD1 right now there is BG6. So first he attacks the D5 pawn, forcing black to go BG8, and once the bishop goes to G8, then he comes BD1. So this forces black bishop to go to F7, and after BF7, as we have discussed already several times, bishop comes to F3 and black is put in a zugzwang. Okay, and finally we will cover the move BE2, BE8, BD3, BD7. This is also very easy. Now we can again go bishop C2. When after bishop C8 there is just BD1 and H5 is now lost by force. So only move BD6, BD1, forcing black once again to go to the F7 square and bishop F3, and black loses. So this position by Everbeck is a typical classic case of a bad bishop. What are the shortcomings of a bad bishop? We can understand from this position. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.